Welcome students to this video on your quiz for the stats. In the spirit of learning for you, I thought I would change the format of the quiz, and instead of you doing a bunch of calculations and that type of thing, instead I want you to review the calculations that have already been done, because the calculations isn't the magic of this. You can get software programs that can do that for you. It's understanding the data, and that's what I tried all semester long to teach with you. So I would suggest open up a copy of the stats quiz that is posted, that I sent you, and I posted it online also, and go through that and answer the questions as you're watching this tutorial video. It should be pretty straightforward for you in that regard. Keep in mind it's due on April 14th at 6 p.m. Drop it to the assignment box called Stats Quiz on D2L. I'll get it graded, get your grades posted, and again, due on the 14th, 6 p.m. So, opening up the quiz assignment, you're going to notice right away there's a image of my math that I did for this stats problem. Image 1 is called Stats Calculations. I'll reference that for the next set of questions. So as you get to question 1, together you've calculated the CP for this data set at 0.9497. My question to you on this quiz is statistically, is that a good CP value? Remember back to our in-class examples and some of the feedback I've given you folks on regarding your homework. People like Duran and Deming and whatnot had said statistically for a CP value to be good, it's got to be greater than 1.0. That's your hint here for this quiz. Then as I move on to question 2, because we are doing this process manually, calculating these things manually, we're calculating the CPK value in two halves, the lower half and the upper half. So we've calculated that. You see the numbers up on the image 1 stats calculations. For question 2, A is an apple. Which CP value would you report as the CPK for the system? Then part B of that question is, why did you pick this value? Now remember, a little hint again for you here is you're going to be looking at the lesser of those two values. Software programs are automatically doing that behind the scenes. Some of the magic they do with software programs, but then you as a user, if you don't understand that, you'll be like, what's going on here? So when we do it manually, sorry, my phone keeps coming off of my holder. When we do it manually, we need to pick the lesser of those two values. So then as we look at 2, C as in cat, is this a good CPK value, excuse me. Now again, remember, people like Duran and Deming and those statisticians that have been doing this for generations have stated that for a CPK value to be good, it's got to be greater than 1.33. Again, there's your hint in that regard. So then moving on down to question number 3. Does this data tend more towards the upper or lower specification limit? Does it tend towards the upper or lower specification limit? Now, again, a hint for you regarding this question is what is the lesser value, the CPK lower or CPK upper? Because as we look at that histogram that you saw on the board during classes, we talked about this, that upper and lower distance value tends to be a distance. And so the lesser of those values, it would tend towards that side, towards the lesser of the values. Okay? Now we're going to move on to question 4, but question 4 and beyond, you're going to look at chart number 1, which is a run chart of the data from this subset. So as I go to question number 4, are there any data points outside of the lower or upper control limits? And I added the upper and lower control limits to this data chart. You can see them as horizontal lines that are indicated with some arrows reminding you what they are in the data set. Are there any points outside of those data limits, the upper and lower control limits? If so, circle them, please. That's question number 4. Question number 5. Assuming there are points outside of the upper and lower control limits, are they defective parts? Now, keep in mind the upper specification limit I have listed is 11.5 as a reminder, and the lower specification limit is 10.5. So again, if we have points outside of the data, outside of the control limits, the upper control limit or lower control limit, are they defective parts? Moving on then to question number 6. Between the plotted points, I can't talk today, between the plotted points 10.64 and 11.21, what does the graph kind of indicate might have happened in your manufacturing system? A hint for you here, remember in class when we chatted about this and I had control charts on the board, and I talked about perhaps adjustments were made in the process or something happened in the process. That's a good hint for you in that question. Last question on the quiz. Can't get this one wrong unless you don't answer it. The question is how do you see what you've learned regarding statistics impacting your professional role today, assuming you are working in a profession today, or post-graduation? How do you think you are going to be using this data as you move ahead? I hope that helps you with the quiz. Again, reminder, it's due on the 14th at 6 p.m. If you have any questions, as always, just reach out either via email, send me a text. My telephone number is right on the quiz. Any way I can help. I hope you and your families are safe and healthy. Take care now.